Hi. Now let's discuss more about the components of cells in eukaryotic cells in our body. So we'll discuss about basic roles of cellular organelles and cytoskeleton, and extracellular matrix, which is structure and role in tissue, and membrane proteins, which is responsible for transportation and cell adhesion. These can be covered by previous your prerequisites, so we will go a little fast. So let's first see more of a white blood cell chases bacteria in vitro. So this movie was made in 1950, which is 70 years ago already. But it's very interesting why we are much interested in this cellular aspect. So the big cells in here is called neutrophil, or most abundant white blood cell, or this is also called as a polymorphonuclear cells. And that chasing a bacterium here, and this is called Staphylococcus aureus. This is a very important bacterium which we still are suffering, many people, especially in the clinic, when we are using antibiotics irrationally. These bacteria can develop a resistance, so this become a big problem in our current clinic. So with in vitro condition, the others are red blood cells. Let's take a look of this movie first. So this white blood cell is chasing a bacterium here, and somehow it kind of keeps figuring out where are the bacteria and pushing the RBCs around and keep looking for and chasing this bacterium until it actually engulf this bacterium. And you see after engulf, it slows down and there's a tail, there's a leading edge. So it's very interesting, and we are curious. We probably still do not understand many things here. So what can we see from this movie? So first of all, this white blood cell somehow neglect red blood cell around, but only somehow seeking that bacterium which is actively swimming inside this pool. And so there must be something which signals the bacteriums to the white blood cell. So that material could be chemoattractant from the microbe, so that the white blood cell somehow senses where exists this bacterium. Also, another interesting thing is this white blood cell is, in fact, it has polarity with a leading edge, which is chasing, and it has also tail. And also that leading edge is called lamella, or multiplex lamellae, and it's kind of stiff, and it can actually push the red blood cells. And so another aspect is on the side of this white blood cell, there's a ruffling, which is making them easy to navigate. So this immune cell, white blood cell, is very much dynamic, changing its shape, and it actually moved, and that's involved with today's lecture. So let's just take one more look for this movie. So look at that, this ruffling on the side, and it knows where the bacterium is, and it keeps pushing the nearby RBC, which it neglects, but only look for finding bacterium. It changes its leading edge direction while there's a tail on the back, and until it engulfs that bacterium and it slows down. So that's an in vitro 70 years ago. Now, I brought another example, which is quite more recent. My collaborator made this using 2-photon microscope, and this is a mouse hind limb skin after using a tape to give a slight inflammation. And this movie took 25 minutes. Let's see in vivo in living animal how immune cells are moving and searching, very dynamic. These big ones are hair follicles. Let's take a look. So look at that. These cells are working very hard, moving in and out inside the tissue. against this newly caused skin inflammation. And for over 24 minutes, they're working very hard. So we, at the microscopic scale, we realize our cells, there are standing still cells, but there are actively moving cells and chasing and trying to protect us, these immune cells. So let's take one quick more run. You can appreciate how dynamic our body is trying to help us and protect us. Yeah, these cells having some granules inside and they are keep moving.